So for the last like several months, the top question on the site is how can I make white stuff come out of my vagina?
Whenever these questions go to the top of the line, it breaks my heart because it demonstrates that it's so clear that our kids are getting their information from online porn.
So what is it? She wants to ejaculate white stuff?
The guy's seen, on online porn, God knows what they're putting inside a woman's vagina to get her to shoot across
It's kind
the
of
room.
like a Hollywood movie. Like they have like fake stuff that they do to make it look cool.
It's like the cars going off the edge of the cliff. No, don't do that in real life.
Yeah, they don't go off the edge. That doesn't happen. They're just shooting it to look like that.
So it's like it breaks every sex educator's heart when you hear that kind of. It's just flat out dumb.
Well, and it's putting pressure on her, right? Because he's saying, how come you just make white stuff come out of your vagina like there's a button or something?
Get this. Then she blames herself. Maybe I'm masturbating too much. Maybe I'm not doing it right.
Oh, she's depleting her white stuff?
Well, who knows? But she goes right away. Women always turn to taking the blame. If the man is complaining, my boyfriend, I love him. He does everything perfect. Blah, 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 Except he wants white stuff to come out of my vagina.
Well, I'd like unicorns to come out of my vagina.
I just would like plain old flat money. Like a cash register. Cha-ching, cha-ching, every orgasm, cha-ching, cha-ching. Ha-ha. That chance.
Well, you made a great point before. You said it's always wet. The vagina is always wet.
Moist, yes, always. It's inevitable. If it wasn't, the walls would stick together. Now, is it lubricated enough for penetration? Maybe not.
Yeah, it depends.
Maybe not. And if it isn't, then please feel free to use additional lubrication.
And sometimes, when I was pregnant, your vagina goes on overload. It was like super mucusy. And it's that white, I call them snail trails.
That's what I talked about in the blog that you're going to post today.
Because I just thought it's so cute. Because when a snail, it's little snail trails. They're kind of clear, a little whitish,
Yeah.
But after birth, all of a sudden, I was really dry. And for the first time in my life, I had to deal with that. And I had to use extra lube.
Well, same thing happens after menopause. That you're not as wet or as moist, and so what's the big deal? In my 40s, I was never dripping wet because I was having sex so much. You can't wait for all of the, the pre-turn on. It was just you walk into a room and there are 10 guys you want to fuck. You get out the lube and go for it.
Well, it's interesting that the boyfriend or the lover didn't internalize it for him and say, "Oh, maybe I'm not arousing enough to you."
No. It's up to the woman. He wants me to make white. He wants white stuff to come out of my vagina.
That may or may not happen for you. And that's okay. That doesn't mean that you're not having sexual response. You can have an orgasm without having white stuff come out of your vagina, right?
I think very few of us have white stuff coming out of our vagina as a result of sexual arousal. If you're talking about female ejaculation, that's another story. Now, that's another thing that happens for just a few women. And what pisses me off is that they wrote the book, and none of this generation doesn't know anything about the G-Spot book, but it's what started the whole insanity about female ejaculation. Yes, it is a fact of life.
It happens.
Yes, very few women do it. So they write the book because these few women who can't do it maybe are not having orgasms because they think they're peeing. Now we have hashtag not pee.
Well, I think it's like most things when it comes to being a woman. Everyone wants to generalize and categorize, and you're here to kind of have this white stuff shoot out of your pussy.
Because they've seen it on television.
Have big tits and look great no matter what happens, and always be well rested and have shiny hair and long nails, and it's like full lips.
Yeah.
It's like, do we have to add something else to the list, really? Can we just...
Well, it's sad that then the woman blames herself because somehow she's inadequate. That's what breaks my heart.
And she can be aroused and not have white stuff come out of your pussy.
First of all, it should be practically no color. It's like a plain, if it's coming, and if it's coming from the urethral sponge, which would be
like ejaculate.
it would be no more than a teaspoon. Boys and girls, do not use online porn as your sex education. Do come to DodsonandRoss.com and get the real deal. And Baby G, he'll tell you what to do. Right, you tell him, kid.